I'm Tammy Downs, and I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. My dad, he was Jack L. Robinson. He was 65 years old. He was retired Air Force, and he was retired civil service at Fort Jackson out at Moncrief Hospital. It was August 17th, 1996. I was at my mom's here in Florida, and we were having a nice day, not knowing that at 6 o'clock that evening, my father was being stabbed to death by another man at the Rosewood boat landing in Olympia. On Sunday, I received a phone call from my uncle stating that my father had been murdered and that I needed to get to South Carolina because I had to identify his body. So I got my kids and off we went. And so the first place we went to was the coroner's office, and I had to go in and I had to identify him. From there, I had to go to the sheriff's office, and at that time, that was when his sisters and brothers were alive, and we all had to sit around a table for them to tell us about him being murdered. A year after my dad was murdered, there was another murder, and this young man, 19 years old, murdered a family friend. When they brought him in to question, he had made comments due to the composite that was on the detective's desk. And at that time, because of various comments, the detective claims that this person possibly was who killed my dad. So they proceeded to file charges. In the meantime, they were for 7 days in court due to the woman and child that this young man had murdered. They did not contact me 3 years later after they decided that since they had no DNA, they had no, the knife, they had nothing that could prove that he did it. They did not contact me. So I went 14, 15 years of thinking that this person that was put away was the man that killed my dad. So finally, I don't know, one day I was on the computer and I was looking for some family when Richmond County Sheriff's Office came up, cold case unit, and I'm looking, and here's my father's picture, Jack L. Robinson, unsolved murder, no suspects found. And my heart dropped because it took me right back to that first call of finding out that he was murdered. So I contacted the sheriff's office. I'm like, what is going on? I mean, I was calling everybody, and nobody could give me no answers. When you have a loved one murdered, you're given an advocate. But once that person is buried, that advocate is no longer there. When I came into Project Cold Case, I was able to come up and meet y'all. We sat down. You were able to sit and talk with me and ask me questions, and we were able to go through everything. Project Cold Case has even gone as far as getting in touch with the detective, Chief Smith, and they have introduced themselves to where they're not strangers, and Chief Smith knows who Project Cold Case is because I speak to him quite a bit about Project Cold Case. They are my support. Project Cold Case has become an advocate to me to help through this time when my father's case is unsolved. It's cold. They don't have anything, and through that, they offer me support. They offer me an advocate to talk to. What bothers me the most is they claim that they found somebody, then they dropped all the charges, and then they just dropped his case. That was 3-4 years after he was murdered. Why did they not pick it back up? There was a lot of people that were involved that were alive. They should have picked it right up from that point, and they did not do that. They just let him sit. And then when I got into the picture of it, of trying to ask all these questions, they're like, well, we don't know where his case is. Well, we don't know this and that. And then I had to get approved through the sheriff. I want to know who this person is that killed my dad. I have tried finding support groups, and the minute you walk into a therapist and you say, and they ask you what you're here for, and you tell them about my father's been murdered, it's almost like their mouth drops, and they have no clue to what they're talking, what I'm talking about. Through Project Cold Case, with the 2 month, every month they have anywhere from 1 to 2 meetings that we're able to be a part of. It helps me because I'm able to hear the other people that are going through exactly what I'm going through. They know how I feel, I know how they feel. And we're able to discuss what might be what's bothering us at that time, what may not be bothering us. It may be something as simple as someone may say something that might trigger something that reminds us of our loved one that has been murdered. We can't give up. We are the voice of our loved one. I'm the voice of my father, Jack L. Robinson. And we have to keep fighting. With Project Cold Case behind you, they will also help you to get your loved one's story out there. You just cannot give up. There's a lot of people out there that do, and even though it's frustrating and it's hard, and sometimes we have to back away, sometimes we just have to take a breath and say, but we have to turn around, we have to go right back, and we have to get it out there, because it takes one person. And we have to keep that hope that maybe that one person, somebody is going to recognize who, the story, or your loved one, or if you have a picture of the person that, composite or whatever that killed them, that somebody will recognize that person. And that's what I just keep hoping for.